Welcome back to another episode of Runewalking in Modern Times. I'm Ken Edwards, a runewalker and shaman of the Northern traditions, and your host for Runewalking in Modern Times. I've been thinking for a few days about what to chat about this week, and I'm still not sure I have a solid answer. I think there are a lot of things happening in our world that are interesting, and interesting is like the light word for it, I guess. And so, because my mind is a little focused on those things, and because I believe that, as I've said many times before, our bodies can carry and convey wisdom that sometimes our mind can't comprehend. And the same thing with the runes. So, my gold bag actually got a rip in it over the weekend, yeah. And now we're using burlap. So, let's just start off with pulling some runes and going from there. I guess my intention with pulling runes is for those of us and those of you who tune in and watch or listen to Rune Walking in Modern Times, what would be some good wisdom? Not good wisdom. I guess all wisdom's good. What would be a couple threads that they would show us that maybe run through all of our lives that would be helpful to know about and helpful to see some insight about? I think that would be good. So, I'm going to back myself up a little bit so I can lay these down. Now, what would be helpful to know about? I will add a picture right here. Cue the picture. So, if you haven't heard me speak about this prior to now, the way I read and the way I pull and interact with the runes is if I felt like the right runes were in my hand, then even if they're face down, they have value. A lot of people don't read that way. 99.9% of the time, face up are very specific ideas, and face down tend to be general, like kind of overarching themes. And so, as you can see, we have Fehu and Isa coming up together as the two that are face up. Let's just start off by reading those poems from the book, from my book. I guess I should start calling it my book instead of the book, huh? So, Fehu being first, we've got the first poem is Beginnings and Sparks, Tales and Trails, Value and Worth, Healthy Herds, Hordes. If I have no worth, then I am not worthy. I must value myself, my spark, my list, drive, passion, penis, genetic material, ability, inability. If I am worth nothing to myself, I am worth nothing to them. And Isa, we have How does one connect with Esau in a heat wave? Stillness, heavy, stifling, breath taking. Same as cold. In stillness, we experience our fears. Esau has no emotion, and fear is false danger. Calm, still. I'm going to reread Fehu. Beginnings and sparks, tales and trails, value and worth, healthy herds, hordes. If I have no worth, then I am not worthy. I must value myself, my spark, my list, drive, passion, penis, genetic material, ability, inability. If I am worth nothing to myself, I am worth nothing to them. When it comes to those two runes coming up together, and just so you're aware as well, if you don't have the book, you can get it on Amazon or runewalker.com, but I interact with the runes via their stories and themes. So with Fehu, value, wealth, management of resources, money, and self-worth. With Esau, ice, blockage, preservation, and destruction, glaciers, and stand still. I think we need the bigger picture for context. So, I'm going to flip over the others that are the underlying current of what's happening here, and I will throw that picture up now. Nauthiz, Wunyo, and Urus. I think that's a better place to start, seeing that now. Let's start with Nauthiz. I think that this will make more sense to us here. Need fire, lust fire, friction fire, must start with fire. Why can we not put down the sticks after the fire sparked, started? Must we burn ourselves in the flames? Know when. Enjoy the warmth of your work, your friction, your desire. Wunyo. Reach down to go higher. You are deity, connected, joy, madness, ecstasy, life. Able to receive. Where is your antenna? Urus. Wild. Be wild. Be untamed and free. Free yourself. Follow your instincts, your gut, your bloodline. Back all the way, back to the place and time where we had to. Had to trust our noses that told us of danger, of food, of sex. Trust your body. The recycled molecules that make up your body have been around much longer than you. Respect that, trust them. And in doing so, you will find you. If you didn't get it, get it. So, now, let's start here. It's it's the bigger context, which is great. So, we have Nauthiz. Sorry, we have Wunyo. Wunyo is a rune of joy and madness. It is also a rune I'm coming to know as a rune of alignment, a rune of alignment of all of our parts, of our soul parts, of alignment within ourselves, but then alignment within each of the interconnected spheres, maybe is a good way to put it, within your community, within your family, within your community, within your state, within your nation, within the world. So Munyo is about everything being in alignment, so that you can experience joy. Now, most of us, where should we go? Okay, good analogy. Most of us wear some sort of saddle, reins, bit, blanket, and probably have a rider at some point. But in terms of that alignment or our alignment, even with just within ourselves, we have the alignment of that. Now, sometimes to get that alignment, we have to go deeper. We have to trust our body. We have to, which is kind of what I mentioned in the beginning of the video. So this is pretty spot on. We're in that thread, on that thread. So our instinct will help us. So it's will help us align. Now, it's super easy when our alignment is out of alignment because we're hungry or we're tired or anything that has to do with that, we're horny, whatever. Like those can bring us out of alignment. So it's really difficult to those are easy. The harder ones are um, maybe things such as old religious beliefs or old family patterns, old societal beliefs about how we should act and what we should do. So to get rid of those is hard. Um, to allow ourselves to access our urus, our wild, strong as far as strong and pushing forward, to allow us to get there, to act from that space, to find alignment, we have to get rid of those other things. And again, the brain will sometimes take over and kick in. Now, Nauthiz, in terms of this, yeah, Nauthiz means friction and that it's going to be hard. And it will be, because to start a fire with 2 sticks and no gasoline or matches takes determination, it takes persistence, it takes know-how, it takes practice. So our alignment at the moment, if you're trying to find it, if you just know something's wrong, that's where you're at, and our so that's our context, right? Um, Finding alignment through listening and acting from our instinct, which is not about the stupid video game shit, I believe. Like, it's not about killing, it's not about, taking over people. It's not, none of that is really what it's about. So, and then Nauthiz, the determination to do it and the need to do it. Flip those back over. Now, let's go back to, well, actually, I'll show you a picture with all of them. And remember that Isa and Fehu were the ones that were face up. Now, when it comes to the context being us finding alignment and that alignment coming from accessing our instinct and having to work at getting rid of the things have that keep us out of alignment. The main things that are happening right now are for me. I'm in North America, so we're in fall. We're moving into winter, a time of stillness, um, and um, and as I even say that, I'm hearing that's not where we're headed. Great. Where are we headed? We're headed to it being a blockage. I don't normally see ice as a blockage. I shouldn't say that. Yes, I do see ice and ISA as a blockage, um, and it's not always how it comes through. In this instance, it is. Um, we're blocked. We're blocked from doing that, and it has to do with our interaction, relationship, interconnectedness with Fehu. So this is where the now phase comes in for us sometimes, okay? Not sometimes, where it comes in now. What do you value? Um, how do you value yourself? How do you value your interconnectedness with your community and other people? How do you value um, this sheet that's hanging behind me? How do I value my home? How do I value um, clothing? How do I value technology? How do I value all of those things? And I say that in terms of sometimes we kick into the idea that no, sorry, let me back that up. The question I want you to ask yourself, and I'm going to be asking myself, is the things that surround me, how do I value them? Did I value them as a momentary titillation that now has kind of gone away? Do I value them as tools that I use every day? If I do value them as a tool or something I use every day, do I take care of it? Um, Now, those are things. What do I value? This goes into possibly writing an ethics statement or a statement of morals for yourself. Do I value integrity? Do I value balanced relationships? Do I value um, how much time and effort am I putting into relationships that aren't balanced and where there is no reciprocity versus the relationships where I do have that? Sometimes we're just putting our time and attention into the wrong things. So this week, I think our wisdom from the runes is this: you're out of alignment and you feel it. We immediately go to our brain to figure it out and to fix it. But this alignment can only be rectified, can only be found. Maybe found. Our This alignment can only be found through our through letting our instinct guide us to what is out of alignment, listening to our bodies, to our instinct, and not trying to cage it anymore, not trying to tame it and force it to work, forgive me, 9 to 5 in the winter when I don't get up as early as I normally do in the summer. Um, so, this alignment, though, our first hurdle in this is really looking at what we value and worth of things around us and within us and in our interconnected circles. Now, I'm going to use another set of runes, and I'm asking for a rune for us to focus on that will help. I mean, we can focus on Fehu, yes. And I feel like there's like a deeper, not deeper, deeper is the wrong word. I feel like there's a different focus, although what we're looking at is the alignment, and looking at our first hurdle is looking at value and how we value things in ourselves. But I sense there's something a bit more to that. So before we close out for today, which I realize now has been 20 minutes, and I didn't realize that. I thought it was going to be shorter. Let's do this. So, from the Quake and Aspen trees, I knew there was something broader about this. Awaz. Awaz Awaz is the workhorse. Awaz is okay. I had a conversation yesterday, and everything that I've talked about today is reflecting me back to that, and also, one of the things that I find interesting about today is that Awaz. Okay, let me just do this. Awaz themes and stories, right? Um, movement, travel, direction, potential, steady progress, and the workhorse. Here's the poem. The most difficult question. What do you want? The horse is waiting. In which direction will you go? It's all up to you. My general theme for this past summer, and I think one that I will probably end up literally or figuratively tattooing on my body, is this. I may have to pare it down in words, but when you're crossing the desert, take only what you need. If I know I'm crossing the desert, and that is my direction, and I choose that, I'm not going to take my puffy parka. Bear Grylls probably has some way to make a puffy parka very, very helpful in the desert, but I do not as of right now. Don't forget that what you want is important. Important. Don't forget that what you want and going after what you want, even if that is, I want to feel peaceful. I want to feel aligned. You need the direction to be able to make decisions that will get you there. Let's go back to the desert. I know I have to personally walk through the desert. The light is brighter and the shadows are darker. I'll leave you with that. The I'm going to have to pare down what I need to do that. If what I want is to feel alignment, I'm going to have to listen to my body. If alignment is my goal, which now these kind of brings that back in. If you're rubbing two sticks together to rub two sticks together, but you don't really know why, then what are you doing? If you want to start a fire and you want to, because you need it, then you have a goal. So, what's your goal? I'm not always so destination oriented, but in this instance, if my goal is to have alignment and do that from a more instinctual place, I now can make decisions based upon that. But if I don't know that that's my goal, the decisions I make are haphazard and they're kind of willy-nilly. It's not helpful. So, what do you want? What do you want? Thank you for joining me. May your weird be filled with health, wealth, strength, and virility.